The main character of Concussion, Dr. Bennett Umalu, clashes with the NFL after learning through an autopsy of a former Steelers center, Mike Webster. Webster died because of the long-term effects and head trauma he sustained while playing football. His findings of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, in the brain were denied by the NFL at first, but it was not until more former players continued to die at a young age did the commissioner of the NFL start getting heat from Dr. Bennett's discoveries. When Pittsburgh Steelers legend Mike Webster dies first in the film, the movie, his teammate Justin Strzelik comes to him and says he is losing his memory, saying odd things to his children and nearly threw things at his wife against the wall. A disoriented Webster brushes the worries off and says the most important thing is to finish the game, which is what he said during his Hall of Fame speech. CTE starts developing when you suffer repeated blows, no matter how spread apart. You may not feel any side effects, but over time you could suffer permanent brain damage, and time brings symptoms like depression, suicidal tendencies, chronic drug abuse, bipolar behavior, and violent tendencies. When Super Bowl champion Antoine Randall was asked in an interview with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, he responded that if he could go back, he would not play football. He said that he would have played baseball instead, and he had one of the most iconic plays in Super Bowl history. He said he has been experiencing growing memory problems and difficulty climbing up and down the stairs since his NFL career. Our brains sit in the fluid that is completely disconnected from the human skull. So every time a blow to the head occurs, there's also an impact our brain and our skull. There's nothing in our autonomy that can protect our brain from the kind of impacts that are sustained on the football field. Imagine that this quarter is your brain and that the vitamin water is your skull. Here's what happens when you play football. A human being will get concussed at 60 Gs, and a common impact on a football field averages at about 100 Gs. Despite the use of a helmet, the percentages of concussions are highest in the helmeted sport of football. An NCAA concussion study revealed that offensive linemen, linebackers, and defensive backs were the most frequent to sustain concussions, positions that were laying the wood during the first video clip. Sport-related concussions accounted for 58% of all emergencies department visits in children 8 to 13 years old, and 46% of all concussions in teenagers. Since everyone's structural brain development occurs through one's childhood, younger athletes may be more vulnerable to a concussion because of the structural immaturity of their brain. Those recent concussed young athletes have significantly impaired performances on tests of attention, concentration, processing speed, and mental flexibility, compared with young athletes with no history of concussion or history of one previous concussion. The Journal of Athletic Training states that in a survey of youth football coaches, 45% of coaches that believed that concussions did not require immediate removal from the game. That's almost one half of the coaches. But only 6.4% of players who suffer concussions lost consciousness. At the end of the day, the only people on the field are the player and their 10 teammates, and on the field against the other team. Football is a war, minus the shooting.